At just 11 years old, our next guest has achieved a career most chefs can only dream of.
Well, after learning to cook 4 years ago, OMARI McQueen has already successfully opened his own vegan pop-up, winning multiple awards for his food.
My dad taught me and my older brother how to cook, and I learned to cook by him and YouTube as well. But the first meal I cooked from him because he taught me how to cook because there wasn't anyone to cook at home because my mum was sick.
What were you cooking? What did you?
Pardon?
What did you cook?
I cooked tuna and pasta because I wasn't vegan then.
Yeah.
And pasta was easy to make, but at first I thought it was hard.
Yeah.
But you just have to boil water and put pasta inside. So I decided to start my business and make money by doing what I love.
And what is that?
Selling dips and making food. I want to have my own food restaurant bus, because my dad, he always goes to work and I don't want him to keep going to work and not spend time with me. And so I want a food bus so my dad could drive in it and I could sell my meals all around the world.
So, you know, dreams of, you know, having your own cooking show one day. I mean, I know Gordon Ramsay is a hero of yours.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is.
So would you like to do that, sort of have a show where you can cook?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be offers flooding in. I really do.
I think we can already book you to come and do some more.
So it's very interesting, Lewis, this story, and people have been talking about it a lot. So it was your suggestion, wasn't it, to do a talent show for the end of term, which was widely accepted by the staff. They thought it was a great idea. And you told them that you were going to do your drag act. So at that point, nobody had a problem with it?
Yeah.
So they said that you were too young, basically, at 14. How long had you been preparing for this? And tell us what the act is, because we want to kind of think, you know, people to know, do they think it's inappropriate?
I was going to be lip-syncing and dancing to a mix of songs that I did with my stepdad, Dale.
Right. And there was something this morning that actually made me well up a little bit, didn't it? I was very emotional about it, because you turned around and said... A question was asked to you to say, you know, did you get bullied at school? Was people really unsupportive of you? Did they find it offensive? And you said, not one person did. Actually, everyone in the school supports me.
Yeah.
8 people dropped out of the talent show when they heard that I weren't allowed to do that. And I just think that... I mean, it's just like giving me chills now. That statement now, for a 14-year-old boy, to sit there at your age and say that and have that response, I think just shows in leaps and bounds how much... people of your age now are accepting of sexuality, of interest, of art, of things like that. Yet the school have turned round, who is this establishment, and said they don't agree with it.
No. What has the reaction been, Lewis? Well, you know, what kind of support, who have you been hearing from? How are you feeling about everything now?
Now, after the whole situation, I feel a lot better. I've had lots of support from friends and family, and now even fans, thanks to all this. I have been offered so many things, like perform with some of the greatest drag queens that I've seen.
Like where?
I'm doing a performance at Tens Across the Board in Birmingham.
You're doing Tens Across the Board?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Is that RuPaul?
If you're a Drag Race
And then
fan,
I'm doing Drag World UK as well next August on the 19th.
Well, you'd started selling Got the Bug at about 8, hadn't you? What were the first things that you were marketing?
Right, so the first time when I started, I was 8 years old, so that was about year 4, and that's when I actually started a cupcake business that only made about £25. And I'm not going to lie, my mum did buy all the ingredients as well to make the cupcakes. But then I would say also in year 4, that's when, if I really wanted to backdate it, that's when I also had sweets as well. So I was buying penny sweets from, like, the cooperative, and then I was opening up the packs and putting them in paper, wrapping them up, then selling them for, like, £2 for, like, a 10p sweet.
Yeah, a nice little profit there.
Yeah, definitely at that age.
But what your school did, and I think this is a really important thing, was that you went to a sort of seminar, didn't you? And you got inspired by hearing talks from other people that had made a success of themselves with business. And that was it. That's what grabbed you.
That's the thing I was definitely say that grabbed me, because he said you can be whatever you want to be. That's when I said to myself, I'm going to get into business and I'm going to give it a shot. And it was the best shot I ever took.
This is where the tuck shop empire really took off.
Yeah.
And so you're buying in bulk.
Yeah.
You're going to the wholesalers and you're buying from there.
Yeah.
And then you employed other people to sell for you, because you realised that in your school, well, that's not big enough. It has to get bigger. So what was the plan?
Year 9, that's when it also grew. But then in year 8, I was able to employ a seller. Then at the end of year 8, another seller.
Are these other kids?
Yeah, all other kids.
In other schools?
Yeah, all
So
other schools.
how do you find them? I mean, because do you have to interview them? What makes a good seller?
I would say that at the time, I was just looking for somebody to sell for me because the demand was very high. But I would say that I always ask the question, why? And then if they give me a good enough answer, why, if they really want to make money, if they really are hungry to make money, and they come from humble beginnings and they're eager to work hard legally, I would say, yeah, you can definitely join up the business.
How much did you make before you got busted?
I would say altogether I made about turnover, we must have turned over a good, like, 25,000 before we got caught.
So you nearly didn't go that day. Tell us why.
Right, I had an 18th birthday party the day before, and I was like singing until 2 in the morning. So I woke up and I was like, I had a cold, and I was like, oh, I really don't want to go. But I was like, right, I'll just go, I'll see what I get. I'll get a video, and it's blown up. So honestly, I'm so grateful that I actually went that day.
Yeah.
And Ed Sheeran saw that video then?
It might have, but Ellen certainly saw it, and then she got me on. This is the guitar, yeah.
And it says play.
Play this every day, love Ed Sheeran.
And have you played it every day?
I play it every day. Like, honestly, I really do.
We're sitting here in absolute awe, marvelling at your lad. Is he old beyond his years? Is he talented beyond his years?
His music has, yeah. You know, you can tell the ones that we look back on, he sounds like a little boy, but over a couple of years, his voice has changed, but it's just...
And are you happy that now? I think he's going to fly. I mean, with Ed Sheeran saying he thinks he's amazing.
Not just Ed Sheeran. Michelle Keegan's been in touch today. Do you know who Michelle Keegan is?
I know she is, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
She knows who you are.
Wow.
Wow.
Michelle.
So Alfie, so talented.
Hello, Michelle.
And we've got your first one that you did over here. This is the Crow, and that was the first one. So how old were you when you did that?
I think I was 5 when I did
5 years old. I mean, it's an unusual hobby for a 5-year-old, isn't it? And what is your fascination with doing this? Why do you like it?
Because it's turning nothing, which a dead animal you can't use anything for, into a kind of decoration or something you can be proud of.
And you also like the sort of just anything to do with animals, so the bones and the way they are, and you're to that sort of natural world you're intrigued by, aren't you?
So what's your ambition then? Because obviously this is a skill, not to everyone's tastes, we've got to say, but this is a skill. You have your own very unique look. Which you absolutely love. So lots of tweed and the bow ties. You look really, really smart. What's the dream?
To do anything to working with animals or entomology or anything like that.
When did you first decide that this was something that you were interested in?
Ever since a young age, I was always dressed up with my sister, like just mess about around the house. And then I thought, well, if I was going to like dress up, like makeup was kind of like the next step.
Yeah.
I mean, you're really very good at it. I mean, this isn't just a child putting on makeup here. I mean, the way you've sort of put it on your face. And is this just from watching all of those tutorials and teaching? Because you love all the contouring and all that sort of thing. So, is this every day? I mean, do you wear makeup?
Yes.
What about to school?
Well, in school, like, it's a policy, no makeup.
Right.
I always try to, like, bend around it and, like, do it.
As most kids do, actually.
Like, try on a little bit just so I can have some, just, like...
But, I mean, you have had difficult times, and when you were at drama school, I mean, well, the reason we're speaking to you today is our bullying anti-bullying campaign, which we're running here, and you experienced that yourself, and not just mental bullying, but physical bullying too.
Yeah, so people, like, there's 2 boys in drama school, and they didn't really get along with me, so they used to hit me and, like, kick me, and, like, I don't know what I did, but they just didn't like it.
And how did that feel?
I don't really know how it felt because I was so young, but it wasn't nice, obviously.
You approached this head-on and said, I am strong enough to deal with this. Yeah. I am very good at makeup, and we've seen your videos. You have a remarkable talent for it. And so that's how you dealt with it.
Yeah, you just have to stand up to them. You can't ignore it because it's just going to happen again. But if you ignore for that long, they will get bored. But if you want to stop straight away, you just got to stand up to them. Yeah.
What's the dream? What do you want to do?
I want to have a record deal, and I want to be on the red carpet, and I want to be doing makeup. I want to be doing people's makeup.
I think Greta Thunberg kind of introduced me to it.
And yeah, she kind of inspired me to do what I'm doing now.
So at home, how environmentally friendly are you and your family?
Well, we got rid of our car about a year and a half ago, and I've gone vegetarian, since the protests, and we in the winter we don't really turn off our heating, and we've recently started. When we have a bath or shower, we save the water and empty it into our garden to
So you're doing all good steps to make a difference within your home, which is what we all need to take responsibility of. Isn't this sort of a mess that, as adults, that we should be sorting out? That really the children should, once they grow up, they can just sort things out for themselves. Do you think that actually the fact it's got so bad that children now have to go, hang on a minute, this is our planet, we're the next ones in line, we need to make a change now?
Well, it's as I think you've heard, it's our future. The adults aren't doing anything in Parliament and we need to act now.
Our next guest is a 6-year-old model from Wrexham who's landed a job in a new River Island campaign.
Cora Bishop has Down syndrome and has been selected as part of a campaign which celebrates diversity. She's loving her new career and she's going to be modelling for us a little bit later on. She's here now to tell us all about it alongside her parents, Cheryl and Daniel. And it's lovely to meet you all.
So nice to meet you.
You must be so proud.
Oh, yeah. We're incredibly proud. Yeah, this week has been such a whirlwind, yeah.
Well, it's a wonderful campaign. So, as we said, River Island celebrating 30 years of clothes, and the campaign is Labels Are for Clothes.
Yes.
So it's really positive. This was her first audition.
Yes, first casting, first job, yeah.
How brilliant.
Straight into the limelight, yeah. Incredible.
Are you worried about bullying?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, from day one, it was a worry. We used to say, what if she's out in the garden and people picked on her, and it was a big concern when she was tiny.
And she's at mainstream school. Yeah. And actually, her group of friends are incredible.
You've got lovely friends, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah. And what do you like doing with your friends? Do you have sleepovers with your friends?
Yeah, you had a sleepover recently, didn't you?
Yeah.
And they're quite protective of her.
Yeah, they mother her a little bit, which is lovely. It's really nice. They know she's a bit different, but they treat her so well.
Well, she's got such a lovely personality. We said when she came in today, she's got shiny hair. Look, there you are. That's you. That's you with your shiny princess hair.
A prodigious talent. I mean, it's quite obvious. The thing is, you don't really have to say anything about you. You just open that mouth and people go, wow.
I do find the singing easier than anything else, really, because I'm used to it.
Yeah. And how are you finding it? Because obviously we saw you there on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Now you've been on This Morning.
I found that hard because that was the first time on TV and there was so many cameras around. But after the Ellen show, it's much easier now. Ellen is a really, really big show, so it was hard.
It's not as big as this, don't
No, this is much bigger.
This is much better.
What's it like seeing the whites of people's eyes? It's one thing singing in your bedroom, whatever, into the mirror, using the hairdryer, the brushes as a microphone or whatever. But going out there on the street and people who don't have to stop, they're all very busy, they have things to do and whatever, they stop, they start looking at you. Is that pressure?
If they stop, I'm way more confident. Way more comfortable, everything. It's when there's no crowd there, I'm actually nervous because I think I'm doing bad. Because I'm oh, there's no one stopping. I mustn't be doing that good. But when there's a crowd there, it's way easier.